Hi everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the second Sunday in April. I just realized that. Is this? No, this is the third Sunday in April. Yes. Whew. Third Sunday in April. We're almost done with April, y'all. Um, how is everybody? I matched my coffee mug to my shirt. It's my Hello Dolly mug and shirt. And Hello Dolly over my shoulder. Mm. All right. All right, so we've got some Q&A. I actually don't have a ton of whip updates, and I have no haul this week. So, this is probably going to be another short... Oh, no, I lied. I do have haul this week. But I actually have not opened yet, because I'm a slacker. Okay, so I lied. I do have haul. I've got Q&A. I've got a little bit of whip updatage. And I do have some quilting to show. Not much, though. Alright, so, diving right on in. My first question comes from Jeanette Ramos. She asks, what is 2 strands to you? When I take 2 strands from the one cut of 6 from DMC, it's fine. But when I do the same with kits, I run out of floss. Then I see other people take kitted floss and use one strand to fold in half and then stitch. You can tell I'm new. Thanks in advance for answering. Okay, Jeanette, so what the first thing we're going to sort of throw out as a caveat. Kits tend to be a little notorious for having at least 1 or 2 colors where you just almost don't have enough. Like you come right down to the wire or you do run out. That actually isn't all that uncommon. You can usually, depending on the maker of the kit, you can usually Google and find a conversion to DMC. So don't let that part alarm you. So I'm not overly surprised by that. What I generally do, and of course I don't... Oh, I do. Here we go. Okay. So the way I roll my bobbin of DMC. Okay, so when you're going to need 2 strands, what I do is I pull it off the bobbin and I go from my fingers to my elbow and then I double it over. And that's where I cut to get my length. Because I like doing the loop start. There are a lot of videos out there for how to do loop starts, pin starts, knot starts. I like the loop. I'm not skilled enough at doing video tutorials, or I would try to show you, but I know there are some good videos out there, and it's a pretty easy trick to learn. So when I've got it like this, then I will pull 1 strand, it gets folded over, so I can loop start it. Now, if I'm working with a hand-dyed, because those I don't want to loop start because I'm going to be completing each X as I go and I want the variegation to show. For those, I'll take them off the skein. I'll go fingertip to elbow and cut there and then take 2 strands out. So 2 strands, so you've got the basic idea. I think where you're probably running into problems is with your kits. Sometimes they just don't include enough floss. Something that I do find helps me not waste as much floss is I like to use petite needles, specifically the John James brand, either the 26 or the 28. And what that has to do with the size has more to do with the eye opening than it does anything else. A 26 has a slightly larger eye, a 28 has a slightly smaller. Usually we'll use the 28, that's my go-to, but I don't mind the 26. And the 26 is just a little thicker overall, I think. But a petite needle, I end up using less floss with. So, I hope that answers your question. Rainy Day Stitcher says she's about to start her very first quilting project and wants to know what is the most useful quilting tool I've used so far. I would go with either a 1/4 inch seam foot with or without a guide. I like both. That's probably been the most useful. And then having one good long ruler is good, but I really like having a 6.5 by 12.5 ruler. I find it easier to cut that way. So those are probably the two things I would recommend the most that have made the biggest difference in a lot of my ironing. Now, or a lot of my quilting. Ironing is another big thing, but I presume you already have an iron. Highway Stitcher said that I was the enabler of the week. There is, and wonders if she should start a new tag. There actually is a tag. It's hashtag Coffee Stitcher made me do it. It doesn't get used terribly often, but it is out there if you want to use that. Deborah Dixon asks, what are some of your favorite overdyed blacks or deep dark colors? I really like Gentle Arts. Their Blackbird is very good. Black Crow is very good. Those are probably the two in terms of the blacks that I reach for the most. If I need something that's not quite so black, like a darker black like a darker gray, Carriage Black is a really good one. Also Gentle Arts. So is Soot. Michelle Bindi Stitchy asks, two fun questions. Do you have a favorite soft finisher and a favorite framer? Yes, my favorite soft finisher is, of course, Oliver at Fire Poppies. He's fabulous. And then my favorite framer is my LNS Steve at Stitch Niche. Does a terrific job with framing. T Heartsong wants to know what kind of sewing machine I use. I have a Brother, and I can't see its name from here. It is... the CS7000i. So a Brother CS7000i. I got it on Amazon, and it included all sorts of handy quilting feet and tools and things. Deborah Dixon asks if any particular dyer or company that sells small cut neutral linens. Like just as like a sampler pack. I do know Fire Poppy sells ornament packs. It's not always neutral. It's sort of a mixed assortment. Usually what they do is they take, when they've got like sort of weird size leftover cuts that aren't really enough to make a full like 1/8 or 1/4, and they cut those down. But they're generally kind of an assorted color range. Under the Sea has ornament ones as well, but I don't think they're neutral. I don't think there is a neutral one out there. If there is, please somebody shout out below, because that's a terrific question. But to my knowledge, it's mostly ornament cuts, and it's usually assorted versus being just neutrals. Okay. All right, and that is it for the Q&A. So this week I got my nest egg from 3 Owl. I know next week my Fortnite fabric will be in. So, we've got Peridot, Pale Blue, Pink, and Plumberry. Right. So those are the Krynics for the week. Alright, so what did I work on this week? Well, as you know, I was going to be starting While Away the Hours with Oliver, and I'm doing it on Work Bitch from Fortnite. So that's where I got to on it. I will say the text shows up significantly better in person. That's the one problem with light blue fabrics. When you go to photograph them, you can sometimes get some really odd things. But I could while away the hours and the bee done. And then I started the Little Dove Wizard of Oz. I'm not quite done. This thing was massive. Like, for being only essentially a 60 by 60 square, it is some dense stitching. So here's where I'm at on it. Yes, I've made some changes. But I should have it finished up today. So that's where I'm at on it. I'll talk a little bit more about my changes next week when it's actually finished. I had wanted to try to have it done before the video today, but that didn't happen. So I did not work on Zodiac this weekend because I was trying to finish Oz, so Zodiac I will probably cram into next weekend to get both of those, get the last two done so it'll be finished. I may even, once this is done, may even work on that through the week. See how far I can get. I do get my first COVID shot on Saturday, so theoretically I will be here Sunday, but depending on what happens, I may not be. So don't be alarmed if there's not a video next week. Because these things do happen. Coming up ahead, Owl Forest is launching a companion to Wizard of Oz. They're doing an Alice in Wonderland. That looks really cool. I believe it actually starts this week. Like, they didn't give us a lot of notice. I will likely do it. I may not do it as they're going along because Satsuma Street's next Sal is coming up, and it was teased to be Wizard of Oz. So we'll see. There's a lot that's happening, and I still have to finalize my Mania plans. So, yeah. Quilting-wise, so that's it for the stitching part of this week. So stick around if you want to see the quilting. If you don't, then I will see you all next time. So on the screenshot sampler this week, it was all half square and quarter square triangles. Now I haven't done my quarter squares yet. That will be coming. I was trying to finish Oz, so my plan is after Oz I'll do the quarter square triangle blocks tonight. But I did do my half squares. So this was the first one. This was the second one. And then this one was the third one because I could use papers and I had the charm pack. But then unfortunately what I figured out was I forgot to trim them down. So this block is actually bigger than it needs to be, and I'm going to have to do some finagling to make that actually work out the way it's supposed to. But there we go. So, that's it for me this week. I hope everyone has a terrific week. I will see you all hopefully next week, but if not, then definitely the week after I'll be back. Bye!